Cartoon Network has been around since 1992 and has introduced many amazing shows to us over the years. And as an avid watcher of Cartoon Network and growing up on Cartoon Network, I remember the days of sitting down and watching my favorite shows play over and over and over again. You see, for me, Cartoon Network was a great getaway. It had many awesome cartoons and many great characters that now, when I look back, I can relate to from many different shows. But what I'm doing here today is simple. If you saw the title, I'm doing a Total Drama Island with Cartoon Network characters. I have chosen 16 characters from various different shows over the lifespan of Cartoon Network's lifetime. And the way I chose these characters are actually personal preferences. And I also tried to choose them from different time periods of Cartoon Network's lifespan. I did choose several characters from the same shows, but I did my best to try to choose several different shows and have them represented in this. There are only 16 contestants and about maybe between 7 to 10 shows that are fully utilized in this and represented by at least one character. So, without further ado, let's begin with the show that actually has the most characters, and that's The Amazing World of Gumball. See, the obvious choices for these clearly would be Gumball and Darwin. So that's two of the three. But the third one is not Anais. See, I decided to go with a kind of anti-hero, kind of villainous character. That's Nicole. I know, a little weird, but I do feel like Nicole would be the anti-hero of the season, as well as like work with her kids, but also at the same time try to vote them off because of her competitive nature. And the entire time Gumball and Darwin would be so oblivious to their mother, even like trying to vote them off until like an episode, maybe like in the merge. I feel like Gumball, Darwin, and Nicole will make it to merge, and then she'll show her power there where she does basically vote off her own children in a surprise double elimination or something. So those are my first three picks. Now moving on, Billy and Mandy. And yes, just Billy and Mandy. There should be no surprise there. Mandy would feel more like the kind of like the villain of the season. I think she would be the biggest villain of the season, where everyone is really trying to take her out, but you know, it doesn't work until she gets her comeuppance, kind of like Heather. And Billy, he's an early boot. He's basically early cannon fodder if they don't really want to get rid of any of the other characters that we see throughout the season. Next up, from regular show, Mordecai, Rigby, and Margaret. I decided to give this show 3 characters for representation as well. And that's just because regular show is an awesome show altogether. Mordecai, Rigby, and Margaret could definitely come up with an alliance to take out other players. Mordecai would be the brains. Margaret would also be the brains. Rigby would be the not brains. There is no brawn. I'm very sorry to say that there is no brawn in this. So they would have to rely on their social skills and social abilities to really go through the competition. And now, this is where things did get tricky, because at first I did have Jake on this list, but I decided to scrap him and put Finn and Marceline. Again, Marceline, it could be half good guy, half bad guy. Not necessarily an anti-hero or a villain, because she would still, you know, work with the little guys, but she would be like the mastermind. She has the big brains, and she could definitely have the brawn as well, because she's not weak. She's pretty strong. She has defeated monsters on Adventure Time before, and same with Finn. So Finn would be pretty strong for like a 14-year-old kid, I think. If I remember correctly, I think he's 14. So Finn and Marceline are there, and I think having Jake there would kind of be cheating too, because he would still be able to like bend his body and everything, and be able to do things that the other challengers wouldn't even be capable of doing. So, no Jake, but Finn and Marceline, yes. Now the next one, Eddie, from Ed, Edd and Eddy. This guy is another early boot, for sure. I don't think he can scam his way to the end of this one. See, if he wanted to buy all the Jawbreakers in the world, $1 million would give him so many quarters, which is how much a Jawbreaker is worth in their world. I just don't see that being a possibility, though, because he would try to scam so much instead of actually playing the game that his team might actually just catch on to it extremely quick and become annoying, and they'll just easily vote him out. That's really where all that stems from. Next, I'll give this one to Chowder. I don't really know why. I just think Chowder is a funny character, and imagine him in a setting where he has to fend for himself. I don't think anybody would really realize that. Although his tagline, his slogan is really, he eats everything in sight. So he might just eat all the challenges. I don't know. This one's weird. I just wanted a Cartoon Network character from that era, and honestly it was between Chowder and Flapjack, and I just think Chowder is a funnier character, someone you could work with. So that's why I chose him. So that's 12 characters out of the way, with 4 more to go. And the next 2 are definitely a power duo, being both Starfire and Raven from the original Teen Titans series on Cartoon Network, not Teen Titans Go. See, even though that duo would be funnier, we need a duo that's more strategic. And Starfire and Raven, being kick-ass superheroes, know how to get that done. So in the game, I could see them going pretty far, even past merge, maybe making it to like Final 7 before one of them actually gets voted off. And it's because they knew how to strategize together. Starfire is the brawn and Raven is the brains, and see how that like evenly matches each other. It would be fantastic. So those are the next 2. Following up, we need a funny haha character, and I know I've said so many. I've said Chowder, and I've said like Margaret, but honestly this character takes the cake, and that's Amethyst from Steven Universe. See, Amethyst would be that joke character that would not get eliminated early. Instead, she would not be as obnoxious as the other joke characters, where she could probably make it to like late pre-merge, even early merge boot. Or yeah, actually she could probably also get the Owen edit and win. She's probably like one of the funny characters that I can actually see winning. But you know, we'll leave that up to if someone ever wants to make this a reality. Hint. I would love to see that. See how they would write these characters. Now for the last one. This is Gwen Tennyson, and not from the original Ben 10, no. And definitely not from the reboot, no. This is when she's older, and like Alien Force, and all the good stuff. When the Ben 10 kids are older. So, I'm just gonna give it to her, just because I did want a Ben 10 character in here, and I thought Gwen would have been a great character. Plus, her name matches one of the actual original Total Drama characters anyway. So, that's another thing, and that's another idea just thrown out into the wind. Well, 16 Total Drama characters are in. 16 Cartoon Network characters are also in. See, I made this for my love of the actual reboot now, and honestly, it's just amazing. Like, the reboot feels like it's a return to form of what the original Total Drama was truly about. Would I like to see them go to other places other than the island? Sure, but still handle it like it's an actual reality show, which they're doing. So, hopefully you guys do enjoy. Drop a like and subscribe. See ya.